What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone for another daily news video on this Tuesday, the day before the big one, tomorrow on Wednesday, the Coppa Italia semi-final return leg, for a place in the final. So that's that. That's tomorrow. So it's a big game, obviously, because it's a semi-final. Also, it's against Inter, so that makes it, even more important. I'm gonna say, um, I'm gonna talk about that game in the preview. I'm gonna do a live preview after this, so check that out or rewatch it after this one. Whenever you watch this one, I'm gonna talk about today's news and what, yeah, like what it could mean, and what it not could not mean as well for this club. Because if it's true, and even if it's not true, it could have a big impact on the club. So I'm gonna talk about that. Before I do that, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification if you are new, and let's go. Okay, so I think everybody saw the news, and the news doesn't come as a shock for 2 points. One, we knew it because UEFA made an official statement. They are looking at what the Italian investigations are doing, basically. And the second point is something like this always comes out before a big game, like clockwise. You can put your money on it, it will come out before a big game. Something will come out, even if it's repetitive news or whatever. But I want to talk about it because the article was a bombshell with a lot of ifs and buts, and with a lot of things that don't make sense. But we know the UEFA are looking into it. With looking into it, I actually mean, or they declared, they're looking at what the Italian investigations are doing, basically, and then they will react to it. Now, according to Gazzetta dello Sport, they flipped it, and they said they're not going to wait, or like if it's going to go past June and whatever, May, they're not going to wait. They are going to set the FFP thing, and they are just going to make a decision. Now, that's wrong on so many levels, because that means that the UEFA sitting back now, and then they're going to sit and see, and they're like, okay, time is up. Now we're going to make a quick decision. That's very random. That's very unprofessional, because the club will appeal it, and that will put everything on hold again. So that creates an incredible mess, not for us, but also for other teams, because nobody knows, are we in Europe? Can we play? Do we need to play playoffs round, or do we not need to play playoff rounds? It's a complete mess, because the club will appeal it, and an appeal doesn't happen over the day. So even the article doesn't make sense, unless UEFA is already investigating this now. But apparently they're gonna wait until June, excuse me. Then they will make a decision, if they have one, and then the club can go and appeal that, and that will put everything on hold. It's a bombshell. So the article makes very little sense in terms of like what actually could happen now. It makes a lot of sense if you want to create a big buzz now and create confusion before a big game, because that worked, not for me personally, because we knew certain things. I'm not calm, but like we knew these things. We knew there's a possibility the UEFA could ban us, because I think we all know now this is not about sport anymore. This is a political game, It is. Gravina being vice president of Sifirin is not because of his good work, because has done a terrible job, leading Italian football. It's bad. Yes, 5 teams are in the semi-final, but if you watch Italian football and you follow Italian football, this is just randomness, No idea how it happened. We know how it happened. But Italian football is crumbling, and we know that. So there's no way that person can become vice president. Like, it makes no sense out of nowhere. It makes no sense for us. It makes a lot of sense for them. Excuse me. So we have that going on. So that needs to tell you that it's not about sport anymore. It's about punishing. And that's what the UEFA is basically saying. They're pushing the federations and whatever to basically punish us and get over with it. That's what they're setting a time frame, saying get it over with, punish them so we don't need to do it. You make it work. And last week, the appeal, when everybody was celebrating it as a win, I was like, hold on. It's just on pause. It's just on hold, excuse me, basically. Because they're basically saying, or they said, we're going to review it. Because the point deduction is way too much, but there's going to be a deduction. That's what they're saying. But the fact that it's happening almost when the season is done tells you this is not about you've done this wrong and that's what you need. That's what you're getting. This is about let's see where we are towards the end, and then we will make a decision to keep you out of Europe. Now, being out of Europe is an absolute disaster for this club. It is, because we have no money. We have very little money to spend, and you're going to lose about 60 million euros for just not being in the group stages of the Champions League, basically, almost. We cannot afford that. When you look at the team we have and look at all the holes and everything, we cannot afford that to happen. That's one. The second part is this is also makes no sense for us for the season to play out, because are you playing for the top four? Are you playing for Europa League? Yes, you're playing to win the Europa League, but are you playing just to win it, or are you playing it to win it and get into the Champions League, or are you doing everything for nothing basically at this point? It makes absolutely no sense. The news story made very little sense. The only thing that made sense was, or was really true, is that the UEFA is looking into it. But the UEFA and the Juve had an agreement almost 2 years ago, I'm going to say, basically, about FFP rules, about certain parameters we need to reach. If not, we will get first a fine, then a bigger fine, and then it's no Europe. So the UEFA looked already into everything, and they didn't find anything, which doesn't reflect good on them as well. The second point is they're pushing the FA and whatever to make it quick, punish us quickly. But when the City bombshell came out a couple of months ago and the FA announced we will need years to look into it, the UEFA just sat back and said, yeah, take your time. Years? Fine. Now it's you have a couple of weeks and then we will make a random quick decision and that's it. You know, it smells like this is all political. It doesn't seem like this is about footballing reasons. And the points deduction, well, they admitted it was randomness. They basically said it. They're using Article 4, even for the wage thing, which is still very unclear at this moment in time what it is. It will come out in a couple of days, I'm going to say. But also there, Article 4, there's nothing pre-written. There's nothing. It's based on, not speculations, but of like, yeah, that could be wrong. But is it really wrong? So we will give you 9 points or 10 points or whatever. We'll just make it up on the spot. There's nothing set. You know, it's very randomness. And that's what the story as well was, in my opinion. It was very, it felt very unprofessional. The entire article felt like you guys need to make a quick decision. If not, we will do it. Which makes no sense because the club will appeal it and it will take some time and it will look very shambolic for everybody involved. You know, there was a part in the article saying about a deal, fines and all those stuff, but it's not about fines. It isn't about fines anymore. It isn't, you know, and that's what I said yesterday. I feel the club is very anonymous. I don't like the way they're moving. I don't like Allegri coming out and saying we'll accept everything. You know, the ref was amazing, or even today in the presser, we will do it the right way. The club off the field, they will take it step by step. Whilst everybody's shitting on the club, everybody is taking shots at the club, and the fans are taking the blow when we haven't done anything, and the club is just sitting back. That's how it feels. You know, they're very, very anonymous. Like the president, you don't hear the president ever speak. Ferrero's kind of like you don't hear those guys anymore. You might say there's a good thing, they're in the background, but in this moment in time, as a fan, you need some little more information. No, you only have Calvo speaking before games, and he says the same thing every single time, so you don't get anything from that. But like Ferrero, Scanavino, you don't hear anything of those guys. Not even something even basic at this point. And again, you might say that's good, they're on the background, but at this moment in time it feels like we're just left behind, and it's like, yeah, you guys take the blow and let's see how it will goes. Because as of now, I'll keep saying it, everything we do feels very soft, feels very kind of defeated, feels like very, yeah, let's see what you guys will decide, and then we will see what we will do. Very strange, but that's the situation. It's a weird situation because now we're playing Sevilla, but maybe it is just playing to win that cup and that's it. Top four race, maybe it's for nothing, and probably it's gonna be for nothing. Going off last week's ruling, they're gonna deduct points based on where we are in a couple of weeks. That's what they basically admitted, and the club will not appeal it again because they can, but they will not. You know, they made that kind of clear already. So what are we playing for? It's a very strange situation, and it's not a very good one. It's not a very good one. But again, that article was a lot of buzz and a lot of ifs and buts, but nothing really concrete. But again, do I think I believe it? That something like this random can happen really quickly? 100% sure, because this is not about actually doing something completely wrong. Because if this was the case, City would have been banned, PSG would have been banned, you know, Barcelona would have been banned, but they haven't. This is about something more than just this, you know, and you know, Gravina getting the job, all those things. It's that, you know, you have Sarri and Mourinho crying about us getting the points back when they admitted they were wrong, but when we got deducted the points, they were quiet, and the club is also quiet. They will accept every kind of crap that has been thrown at us. They will accept it, or they will let us take the hit, and they will be very quiet. You know, it's a very weird situation, and I just don't like it personally. You know, as a fan, we shouldn't be dealing with this. The club should be on the front foot, not we. But that's today's news. That's a big story. We still play Inter, by the way, tomorrow. I'm gonna do a preview in a couple of hours, so tune in live or rewatch it if you want. Gonna wrap this one up. Thanks for watching. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification, and I will see you back live. I need to think, maybe post game. If not, I'm definitely gonna be live on Friday, because Thursday I'm probably gonna record a podcast with Julian. But yeah, thanks for watching, and see you guys soon. Ciao.